Hi there folks, it's Handmade by Shirley. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be using Gummiapan dies today and some extra dies that aren't Gummiapan, but it's majority Gummiapan. So I made this card just before I came on, which is using the Silk and Weave ivory card and this die, which I got quite recently from Gummiapan, if I can find it again. This nice little floral frame here. So it cuts into there and it gives you your die cut. I'm also going to be using the geranium one, and you can buy them all from Misaprint. So www.misaprint.co.uk, Colour Me Nordic in the US, and Charlie and Pulchen, I think it is, in Germany. But I'll link all that in the information box below. So this one, it was just a 5x5 piece of ivory silk and weave from Cintigo, and as I say, I cut into it twice. So for this bit, and then another piece, actually 3 times, another piece of the cream, and then I stamped Happy Birthday with an Alton U stamp, which the name escapes me at the minute. It's something feathers, but I can put that in, as I say, to the information box. And then I had some leftover paper. Well, it's quite it is paper, which I just got from the charity shop, and I just cut out again and then released the florals and stuck them on, and that made my simple card. And I put then some little gems on it, and the stamping ink is VersaFine Clear Nocturne. So I've got another couple of bits cut out. So I've got these 2 pieces, which is the frame again, and I've also cut out, I've also got another white base, which is 5x5. I also cut this piece out, which, excuse me, is from, I think I got this off eBay. It makes this nice slatted background, so it cuts into the card. I could have got a square die and cut it with that, but I just cut it with my trimmer. So that is not Gummiapan, that is from eBay. I've also got the geranium cut in white, and in a sort of they were just backing papers that I had from my stash. That's a green, that's a kind of blue, white. That was a paper as well. They've got these 2, but I don't know if I'll use them. They were from backgrounds I made. So, and I also cut one of these out from a background I made. I mean, I might just use, if I did use these, I would probably just use the florals. And also have this little die, which I got in a swap from Anne Lane. We did a spring summer loaded tag swap, and this was one of the little gifts that she kindly gave me in my loaded tag. So it's just I think it's just from, I don't know where that's from, it doesn't really say, it just says Mini Botanical Dies. So I've also cut that out in white, and these little bits do come out, but luckily I don't think I've cut it that well. So I only went through once. I usually bring it back, but I didn't, so I don't want them to come out, I want them to stay in. So I may do something with that as well. So let's get started. So I've got this piece, as I say, of white, just white card. And I want to just go round the edge of my bone folder, because sometimes when you cut it with the trimmer, you get a sort of beveled edge. So you can just go around either with like a bone folder or a, what do you call it, a sort of tool, one of the tools that you use for shaping flowers, a ball tool, I couldn't think of the word. Okay, so I've got a few options, but I did want to try, I might try this again. So probably just doing it the same way, and I think I might just chop these flowers off. So there's a few wee bits you can just get your scissors into and just release that. There's some wee die cuts there, wee bits that you can just release it like that. Or, alright, so that's it with the flowers released and popped on there. It's kind of gone funny. Let's just see, that's it, that should be there. So that would be it with that like that. And then you could do exactly the same with the bottom piece. So just releasing that little bit, excuse me, off the edge. So where these wee embossed pieces are, you can just release that from the back area. That's it. And then, so that would be another way of doing it like that, which is quite nice. And I could have it in the middle instead of actually cutting an aperture like the first one did, was an aperture. But I could do that and put happy birthday. Or another option is don't put those on at all, just line it up with this and do it this way. There's actually another option as well, but I think that kind of gets lost. So I'm going to just go with the putting it in the middle, because I think it looks fine in the middle. I could do it to one side or there, but I don't think that looks correct. So I'm actually thinking as well, if I can see it. There we go, found it. And raise this bit up in the middle. So I'm just using this foam tape, which is just here on my lap. That's how I tend to hold it when I'm cutting bits out, because I find that quite easy. So if I just raise that up a bit. And I still need to keep that bit raised as well, because even although I'm putting flowers on it, I'm still raising it up. So raising it up just there and there. So that will give it a bit of height and a bit of... Before I do that, I want to put these on though, so I need to look for my tweezers. I think these are actually different tweezers. I found, as I say, I'm rejigging my craft room, and I'm sure I found these ones the other day. They're actually not the usual ones I use, but that's okay. So we'll just get that wee one on to the bottom of that side, like that. Trying to get that on so no white's really kind of showing. It doesn't matter. I think that's it. Yep. And then the same with this piece here. Just popping a little bit of that onto there and just lining up these pieces. Now try and get them in the right bits. There we go. That's fine. And then I'll take this off now. This piece off. Now, probably what I should have done was stamp it, but I can always stamp it and pop it on top. So just getting rid of this. There we go. I'm just finding the middle. I think it's the middle anyway. Might have to look through the camera just to see. I think the middle is the middle part. I think that's kind of it's a bit squint there. What do we think? It's a bit squint. I think that's okay. There we go, that looks pretty, I think, as well. So I can just pop these into the bin beside me now. Right, so I can still do happy birthday, or what's this, thinking of you, which I could do on a piece that will go straight across. So we've got some extra pieces here that we can do something onto. Here's a piece. Now I will have to cut that down because it's too big. Just get that out of the way. So I'm going to use this time, ink-wise, I'm going to use the Morning Mist. And this time it's saying thinking of you. And we're just going to do it straight across here. Like this. Okay. There we go. Flip. And I just want to put a little bit of clear embossing powder onto this, just to give it that extra bit of shine. So what I need to do is pop that away and get out my clear embossing powder. Move that out of the way just now. Just give that a going over, and then I can just could have inked it up, inked the stamp. But what I'm doing is actually inking the piece of paper that I've put, well, the piece of card that I've stamped onto. So it just gives it another dimension as well. So I think that's all covered. Let me see. I just put it over again. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then pop this over the top. Take your tweezers. Yeah, see, they're not quite as fine as the other tweezers were. Oh, don't do that. There's a bit there I don't want. But that's fine, that's looking fine. Just going to pop this back into the wee tub as well. And I'm just going to heat set it. So if you want to turn your sound down, please do just now. If you're not bothered, then that's fine. Actually, I think I'll just hold it. I'm just heating it up slightly, and then I'm just going to emboss over the top. And you should see that changing shortly. There we go. Now, we're going to cut it slightly. I've got a trimmer here. Just let that cool down slightly. I think it's fine. Make sure that's all. So it's just embossed the whole thing really, but I just want to cut it down a bit more because it's too big. And just slightly less than that. And I think I'm going to just chop this slightly off as well. And just this end. Like that. And then I'm going to pop it across here. Could cut it a wee bit more up the top. Let's just do it. Like that. That's better, I think. And we can just pop that onto there, which is fine. So I'm still thinking it looks quite chunky, but let's see what it looks like through the camera. It's okay. Still a bit chunky. I wonder if it might look better. Cut round it a bit rather than. Right, still go straightish there. I'll go cut round that a little bit more. That might look a wee bit better, less chunky. Oh. Just cut that off as well and try and round that bit a wee bit. Let's see what we look like. Yeah, I think that looks better. So I'm going to pop some glue, but first of all I'm going to pop a couple out. Oh, I do that all the time, sorry folks. I just banged the camera there. That's because my camera used to be a different position and now it's changed, and I need to sort my things so I don't bring that sort of thing over to the side like that. So I'm going to put some in the middle of the glue and come on. That's what happens when you don't have very long nails. Right. Just going to put it back there. I think that'll be fine. Let me see. Looking through the camera a bit because I don't want it to be overly. Yeah, I think that's fine. There. Pop that down there. That's it. And then I can just add a couple of gems and put these to that side just now. So that's the first card, and this is the second. Now, gems, I've got a gem box here. So, thinking of colours, there's a little bit of sort of gold in there. So I've got some sequins. I'm thinking might look quite nice. What did I do with my poking tool here? So these are quite big. Some of them are smaller, so there's a couple of smaller ones here. So there's that one, and they're not that much smaller actually. Let's put one there. Maybe not one there. I think I'm going to take that off and do this. That one's a little bit smaller. Maybe could put there. So that's that card done a slightly different way. Hope you like it. Do let me know what you think. So that's these two. So I thought I'd just do one more with the other dies I showed you. So let's get rid of this back onto my trolley. There we go. Right, so let's just put that glue facing down again. So this time I'm thinking I've only got this piece. I could get another bit of card. This is the silk and weave ivory one. So that's a wee bit bigger than that. That one's slightly smaller. I could make that, or I could just get another piece, another let's just see where to get another piece of 5x7s in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Found them. So I've got another 5x7 card bases. So I can chop it down as well. So there's one instead of using those this time. These there. So I do like my square cards, as you know. I'm wondering whether to just leave this 5x7. So I've got this one that I cuts into the card, and then I cut round it. I just cut round it with my trimmer, but you could use a die as well. Now these are quite popular. I don't have the Craft Addiction ones, but I've seen a lot of people do. So this is another option with some of these other die cuts. So using the geranium one, I think I'm not going to use the reds. They don't really appeal. So, just thinking, I can either use the white or the blue. I like this bluey green colour I've cut out. And I do like the white, and I do like that blue as well. But I'm not sure. I could just put them one on top of each other. Once I work out which way it goes. Round that way. So I could just do that. And then that would give it an extra. And just pop it on there. That might be quite nice. And then I'll find something to do for this wee one. So let's just do that. So I've decided that I'm going to put a little bit of background here at the back here. So I'm going to move these away because I don't want them to get splatted with something. So I have got some of this stuff, oxide spray. So I'll just get this mat as well. And if I've got two oxide sprays, so I've got Stormy Sky, because I think that would in keeping with that. And I've also just moved them away because I don't want them to get covered. And this little one, I don't want them to get covered. So I'm just wanting to make a bit of a background here. So I've got Stormy Sky and Vintage Photo. So it's only really one spritz. Two perhaps, probably one, and then another spritz of Stormy Sky, and that's it really. I think I was going to try and do something with it, but I think we need a bit more of the Stormy Sky. It's kind of got lost there. That's fine. And I might have to cut that bit as well. So just going to dry this off. Didn't add any water or anything. Don't always have to. And it doesn't matter if it's seen or not. This sort of dribbling bit at the back, because you probably won't see it. And I probably have to cut this out anyway and pop it onto another base. There, that's fine. Oh, sorry folks. So, we're just going to see that in the background. I think it's quite nice actually with that there. So before I pop this on though, I am going to put some, where is it? I can find it, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to do that at all. No, I'm just going to leave it as is. Right, so I've done that, and I think it's quite nice just like that. I could even have it as an angle like that, or I could do it that way. Maybe that way for a change would be quite nice. Let me see. I could even do it that side. Was I going to do the blue? No, I was going to do the blue, wasn't I? Yep. So I think, I don't know. That might be quite nice like that. But I am thinking maybe even slightly over to the right hand side, and then we get to see a bit more of the kind of colour there as well. It's not getting covered too much. That bit there on top. What do you think, folks? Can still cut this down because it's quite big. So first of things first, I'm going to double up these two die cuts. So we're going to have the blue on top of the white. I like white on white, but I just think it's a bit too, sparse, but it might be okay. Didn't really look at it with the white on white bit there, did I? Let's just see what that looks like. Just as an idea before we get this stuck down. I mean, that does look nice, but I'm going to go for the blue. And there we go. So we're going to stick this on top of the other bit. So that's going to go on. So just move that into place like that. Okay. Fine. And then this one is going to go on here. We just need to try and get some glue onto this a little bit as well. It's very small, but it can be done. So if I just guide these into place like that. Move that down a bit as well, and just move that down as well. There we go. That's it. There we go. I think that looks quite nice. That one's a bit off. It's because it's so thin. And then I'm going to just what was I going to do? Oh yes, I was going to just put this on foam tape around the edges. So if we've got 4 pieces, it'll go around the edge. Just heighten that little bit. And probably too long. Cut that bit off at the end. That. Just now, might need it in a minute, you never know. Sort of like here. There we go. And then just take this off. This tape's great. It's lasted me for ages, this tape. I think I've had it for about not quite a year, but near enough. I do use it quite a lot, so I think it's better than buying these individual, but you know, each to your own. This is also from Sticks to Anything, so, and it does stick to anything, as you can see. Right, so just bring that back down and also replace that slightly over like that. There we go, that's fine. And then, so just get rid of that, don't need that now. So that's going to stick on there, so I'm just going to stick that on with glue. Okay, that's going to stick there. And there is a little bit of glue here. I'm just going to dab that away. It should be fine. It should just dry clear anyway. Hold that down for a few seconds. Come on. Go, and then we've got this bit which we're going to place there. So we're just going to put more glue on that. And stacking them up as well, it gives dimension if you don't have like foam pads or anything. It's quite good for just stacking things out. Now there's little bits of white on the edge of these, but I don't mind that. I think that's fine, really. And then we're just going to put let's see, we'll use the same one. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's put that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's quite nice, isn't it? So we're just going to stamp that straight onto the card. Oh, come on, bottle of glue. So I'm just going to put it onto this stamp block here. Get rid of that one. So thank you. Just pop it to there. From the bottom of my heart, we'll just go underneath, I think. Like that. These, as I say, these are stamps. I think these actually are up from Pulchen, these stamps. I can't remember the set, but I'll put that in the description if you're interested. Please do read the description box. There's always lots of stuff in there. You know, it's good for you to read that if you possibly can. Right, so I'm going to go for blue. What colour will we go for? I think we're going to go for Warm Breeze. And I'm just going to stamp off a bit, just to see. First I'll stamp there, and then I'll just see what it's like on second generation, which is actually quite nice. So let's do the second generation stamping of that again. And then we can do that just, I think, it could go there. Don't know if it'll fit in there. Oh, let's try it here. And hope that it's stamped. There we go, yeah. I didn't want it too bright, so that's worked. And I'm thinking, will I just leave it like that as that size, or will I chop the bottom off? Maybe I'll just chop a little bit off the bottom because it is quite a big card. So we'll just chop it to 6. So that's 5 by 6, that measures now. And I think that is a wee bit better. Just going to add some gems as well to finish that one off. So that's 1, 2, 3, well it's actually 2, not 3, because I'd already done the other one. So I've got these nice ones here. These are quite small, or I've got some blue sequins as well, which might, they're quite blue though. What else? I've got sort of teardrops. Let's see what else I have. See if I can make a comparison with the, actually with the sort of brown colour. It's quite nice. Also, I wonder if, or this kind of grey here, this grey sequiny one. Let's just do that one there. One possibly there. Sorry, out of camera view there, sorry folks. And maybe one on there. So that's another card. These 2. Now I did promise to use the other little die cut, so I'm going to quickly do something with that as well. I know it's going to be a long video, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid these things happen. So let's see what else we've got left. I think that might just be a bit too much, yes. So I'm just going to get rid of that little bit. And what I'm thinking is, I've got another piece of 5x7 base, which I can cut down to a small card, a smaller card, and I've got some nice actual paper, card, from All in Create. So maybe I could use these. These are uncoated. Designed by Otto de Mawa, which is Abs, I believe. I hope I said his name right. Aged Elegance. And let's have a look at these. So these are gorgeous paper cards. So let's see if there's anything I can use with this little sunflower. I love that, it's gorgeous. So they're double-sided. That's nice. I love my blues. Certainly do. My blues and my teals, they're my favourite colours really. That's quite a nice one. Let's just pop that to the side and see if we can do something. So I'm going to cut this down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, so I'm cutting it to 4 by 4. Well, it's not 4 by 4 till I cut it to 4 by 4. So 4 by 4, so you could call this a twinchy card, couldn't you? And I'm wondering if I could just rip this piece down here, like that. Just rip this bit as well. I don't really want that bit to be with the white, so just go around that white edge and cut it off. That would fit on there. I could have the little flower there. Let's see what's on the opposite side of this. Tell you what I'll do. I'll just do a quick splatting of this as well. Get this bit back. Actually, I could do a quick colour of this, and then that might make it stand out a bit. So, get these out the way, because we don't want them covered in splats. So, what will I use? Let's use some of the Stormy Sky again. So it's just a quick wee bit on there, just to give it a wee bit of texture. And then I'm just going to pull it back with my wet or damp cloth a wee bit, like that, that's fine. Then I'm going to stick this piece on here, like that. So stick that on. piece, not this piece maybe. Might be putting that piece on it. Oh dear, don't want that white bit, so just go around that bit there. I mean, you could ink that bit, but and just, so I want this bit to not be white on the opposite side, so if I rip the opposite backing bit, and that gives me, yeah, that's fine, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to stick that down with some glue. And we're at 41 minutes, sorry folks, but hope you'll stay with me, hope you'll enjoy watching this, and that you won't stop watching because this is taking me longer than I thought it would. Right, so I was looking for my colour, so I want to have, where is it? To have, what's this one here? Where are they? I want to have fossilised amber. I want some rusty hinge. Where's rusty hinge gone? At the bottom. And some, what else? No, not that one. Not that one. Squeeze lemonade. I need an orangey one as well, don't I? Right, persimmon. Right, so I'm just going to give this a wee colour. So I've got these finer brushes that I can use on these. So I'm just going to do a bit of ripe persimmon in the middle of this sunflower because it's so cute. Okay, and then on the outside, I've got rusty hinge, but I don't know if I'll need that. I want to do a bit of what's this, squeeze lemonade. Just a wee bit of squeeze lemonade. I'm pulling some of that ripe persimmon out as well, it doesn't matter so much. Let's get a wee bit more of the squeezed lemonade on there. And I think I'm going to go for the fossilised amber now. And I'm just going to go over the top of that to get my sunflower leaf coloured in. There we go. Not too bad. Just get a little bit of. Now, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of rusty hinge as well in the middle. Just a little bit. Not too much, he says. There we go. And then we need one more piece. It's going to be forest moss for the leaves. Let's use another brush for that. I think. So. And come on. I'm not going to bother, it's not completely coloured in. I think that looks quite nice. So we just need a little sentiment and then we should be finished. We'll just stick that in place as well. Here's my, so let's just stick this in place, which is quite nice too. Get rid of this. So let's get my tweezers. Where are you? Here. So we're just going to stick that on now. Now you can see some of the little bits are starting to sort of come out, so It's good that we managed to get it before it was doing that. Oh. Right, so we're just going to pop that kind of off the edge here, like that. That's it. There we go, and then I'm just going to bring in, wondering if I should do that down the side. Let's see, I'm at 45 minutes, sorry folks. What have we got here? We have got Thinking of You, which actually could go up the side like that. So let's just do that and then we'll be done. So I'm just going to do it in Pinecone as well, just to keep in with the colour a little bit. And I'm just going to pop it on here, the side, like that. There we go. And that is my cards done with these Gummiapan dies and this little die from Anne Lane, which I'm sorry, it's a sunflower die. I don't know where it's from. Let's get the cards back. Let me know which one's your favourite and if you might do these for yourself as well. So thanks so much for watching, and please do remember to subscribe to this channel, like, share, and do look in the information box below. There is a lot of information there. So thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.